For the guy that I was really good friends with, and then started dating, this was actually all out of jealousy. So, and I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. So, I was best friends with him. He liked me. I said, listen, no, we are best friends. Like, I don't wanna do that. Then, over the summertime, he goes and finds himself a girlfriend, comes back to school. This was like in college, and starts dating her. I got super jealous and annoyed because I'm like, where did my best friend go? Like, this isn't cool. Like, I'm your girl, what?
That night, I got a girl's number.
You asked for her number.
I got her number, yes.
You know what? Actually, I don't extend any empathy to the men who are allowing themselves to be demoted to the friend zone by a super mid like this. I don't feel bad for you at all. And this woman right here, a woman like this having a bunch of men throwing themselves at her, that she can just pick and choose which ones she's going to demote to the friend zone, and then these men being happy to assume that position. You know, that tells you a lot about how skewed the sexual marketplace is and how thirsty a lot of these men are due to it's just very dry out there for a lot of guys. Look, you can't be friend zoned if you don't consent, ultimately. Oh, actually, I think we'd be better as friends. No thanks, see ya. That's it. And actually, you're going to get more respect that way anyways. So again, I don't extend any empathy to these men being friend zoned by these super mids. And it's men like this, sorry, I hit settings. It's men like this that allow these women to become so full of themselves and delusional and insufferable, ultimately. It's men like this, these beta orbiters, for a lack of a better term, that inflate these women's ego. And then they carry out thinking their shit don't stink. Too many simps. Big problem with simps. No doubt about it.
The story never changes. They neglect good guys and place them in the friend zone only to regret their decision and get jealous when he starts seeing another woman. And this is when they want to date him.
Once you're friend zoned, you're kind of stuck and you can get out. It's really hard to, especially from like a girl perspective. If you friend zone a guy, I almost think it's impossible to go the other way.
Just listen to her speak. Now, I'm not trying to throw too much shade at her, but the upspeak, this type of shit, man. Holy hell. Upspeak, super mid. Why is she desirable in the eyes of these men? And the narrator here kind of conflates good guys with dorks. Now, these are dorks, allowing themselves to be friend zoned by this woman.
I share a story. I've friend zoned a guy and I've never seen him again. And then I've also been really good friends with the guy. And then
That's right. She friend zoned the guy and never saw him again. Let's give this guy a round of applause for not allowing this woman to snatch up his balls and keep him there. I've got your balls. I've got your balls in my hand. Now do what I say. No, I'm not. We're not going to do this. I don't consent. I don't consent to the friend zone. See you later.
Dating him. So let me share both stories. For the guy that I friend zoned, we were friends for such a long time and I knew that he liked me. And I told myself, I was like, you know, it's fun hanging out with him. Like, let's see what happens, kind of give it a go. And we were friends for probably 4 or 5 years or something like that. And I think it was like the first year we were friends, he tried to like be with me essentially, and I was like, let's give it a go. So I was like, fine, why not? We went on a date one night. There were these like beautiful Christmas lights everywhere, and he never kissed me. Like, I was so annoyed. There was like this beautiful spot to kiss me, and I was like, inside I was like, does this guy like me? Like, I thought like the day before he was being all flirty and stuff, and then I'm like, what? And we slept in the same bed too at night, and I'm like, what is going on? And he never kissed me. So I was just like, whatever. At that moment in time onward, I never
Let me sit here and act like I'm interested in what she has to say.
had that idea of liking him romantically, because he kind of like ruined that one moment, that one opportunity. And then I was like, that's it. I know that sounds really stupid, but in my head, I was like, that was the one shot. And it almost felt like being rejected, even though I didn't verbally tell him, like, kiss me. It was just like, if you felt it, then you should have just done it, you know? And if you didn't feel it, then maybe it was just meant to be. So that was the one example. And we were friends for like 4 or 5 years. And I basically just told him, like, we shouldn't be friends anymore, because it's not fair to him, because he really likes me. And I didn't want to do that to him. So we are no longer even in contact.
He definitely didn't want to mess anything up and was unsure, and I don't understand why she didn't see that. If she felt it, why didn't she initiate it?
But obviously I wish him the best, but it's not fair to either of us. For the guy that I was really good friends with,
This guy spent, what'd you say, 4 years? 4 years lurking, hanging out in the friend zone? This guy's time would have been better spent trying to meet new women who are enthusiastic about his shaft. Not this woman. Wasted 4 years hanging out in the friend zone with this super mid. Jesus.
and then started dating.
These guys
This
are
was actually
thirsty
all
out
out
here.
of jealousy. So, and I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. So I was best friends with him. He liked me. I said, listen, no, we are best friends. Like, I don't want to do that. Then over the summertime, he goes and finds himself a girlfriend, comes back to school. This was like in college, and starts dating her. I got super jealous and annoyed because I'm like, where did my best friend go? Like, this isn't cool. Like, I'm your girl, what? And so then I had to tell him, I'm like, listen, I caught.
Yo, you give these women a phone with a camera long enough, and they will expose that they're the problem. They will expose their toxicity. This is super, super toxic.
Feelings for you, but I don't want to break up your relationship. Turns out he was still in love with me and didn't even like the girl. It was just like a prop, and he ended up dumping her for me. And then we started dating, but then he turned into probably more of an avoidant, I would say, but he started pulling away, and he was just like, this is too easy now. He just like gave up on the relationship. So I had to break up with him. And yeah, story time.
She had the opportunity to be his girlfriend, but as always, wasn't interested.
Yo, shout out to this guy. It sounds like if this is what happened, this chick friend-zoned him. He got some other chick. He maybe knew she would get jealous, and then they got together. He smashed and distanced himself. I really hope, for the sake of this guy, that that's what he did. And if that is what happened, then he regained his manhood that day. So this woman friend-zoned him. He's like, oh, you're going to friend-zone me? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Oh, okay, now you want me. Oh, you didn't want me earlier, but now you want me. Okay, let me go ahead and add a number to your body count, and then I'm going to go ahead and become an avoidant. Is that what she said? Nah, he was just distancing himself because you got played. You got played.
To get jealous when he started dating another woman. I wonder why he was trying to avoid her after they started dating. It seems like it wasn't what he expected.
No, he got what he wanted. Sounds like he got what he wanted. For sure. Here's the thing. I believe a big reason why a lot of these guys do end up getting friend-zoned is because maybe that's like the vibe that they put out about themselves. Like, that's their role in this woman's life. And like I said, you can only be friend-zoned if you consent to it.
Respected her boundaries and didn't try to push a kiss on her, which is equal to a friend zone. Guy finds a new girl. Now she wants him. Yep, that's why I just cut her off. I don't need any more friends. If you didn't make it obvious that you wanted him to kiss you, he was probably worried that you'd get mad.
Anyways, there's this guy I was talking to, one of my married friends. He was telling me how and I already knew this, but he was telling me how now that he's married, now that he's got a woman, all these other ladies are like interested in him, throwing themselves at him. And that says a lot. And so, like, with the whole friend zone thing, my whole thing is, like, the only valid reason I can think of to be a guy with female friends is if you are somehow using them to, like, leverage social proof to get other women. That's when that makes sense to me. Other than that, if it doesn't result in your sexual fulfillment in some way or the other, what's the point? Blue balls? What's the point? Like I said earlier, your time would be better spent meeting women who are enthusiastic about you and didn't demote you to the friend zone. I also have this question. Are there even guys out there that are friends with ugly chicks? And if there is, then that guy probably himself is also undesirable. So they match each other in SMV. But are there really that many fat, ugly chicks with friends who are males that aren't also like fat and ugly? Like, it's kind of funny how you're not really going to see a guy being just friends with a girl who's much lesser than him. Does that really happen, honestly?
The other just got what he needed and dipped. She just gave us the formula to get out of the friend zone. Those who are in that position make sure you pay attention. She saw his value from the moment he was taken, so if you want to get out of the friend zone, get yourself a girlfriend. They want to know that other women also want you. This is what makes them see you differently, and this is when you start qualifying to be more than just a friend.
Modern women want to have guys in their friend zone for validation. And this is why they get mad when those guys show interest in another woman. They don't want to lose their source of free attention.
Well, that night I got a girl's number.
You asked for her number.
I got her number, yes.
I'm sick right now.
That's why they say the friend zone is usually where you find your forever man. But you can't wait too long. Time is precious.
No, the friend zone is where these women, maybe that is true actually, where they find their forever man once they're done getting smacked. That's where they find their beta bucks. They're the long-term nice guy boyfriend material once they eventually decide, I'm ready to settle down at my ripe age of 33. Let me go look in my friend zone and find the beta bucks who's been sticking around for about the last 4 to 5 years. And, I think it's a big mistake to get into a relationship with a girl who now, initially she friend-zoned you, but because you've made her jealous in some way or another, now she wants you. You've become the toy that somebody else has, and now she wants you. I think it's a big mistake for these guys to get into relationships with those women. However, I will point out and make the observation that it is true that jealousy in general can increase attraction for a man. Like it can make a woman more attracted to a man. That is true. But that shouldn't be the only reason that she's now into you, because eventually that novelty will wear off. I think it's good, maybe if you're with a girl and kind of like each other, maybe come up, maybe, don't shy away if a girl wants to flirt with you a little bit in front of her. Maybe some people say, oh, that's toxic, but in general, it is true, obviously, that feelings of jealousy can make a woman more attracted to a man. But it is not a good idea to allow a woman to pluck you out of the friend zone and start taking you seriously only because she's jealous. Hope that makes sense.
Some guys don't mind being in the friend zone and playing the long-term game, but other guys overdo it, which is the case of a guy who has been waiting in that spot for 10 years. He has been in the friend zone this long and still thinks it's a good strategy. Guys, we need to do better. This guy could have used this time to find himself a girlfriend, someone who is on the same page. But she is also taking him for granted. I bet she won't like it if he starts dating another woman.
How long have you been friends?
10 years. Yeah, 10 going on 11 years.
In that time period, have you never had feelings for each other?
No, he's been just such a great friend. So I couldn't see the other side of it.
Could you ever see her being your wife one day?
Just say no.
I mean,
Just say no.
it's possible.
God.
It's possible.
So you wouldn't rule that out?
I want to save these guys, man, but some of them just can't be saved.
I wouldn't
We
completely.
never thought about it.
I've never 100% thought about it. It's possible, but yeah.
Look at her body language. She knows what he wants.
We're friends.
How come it's a possibility in your mind, but for you, you're
Again,
like,
notice what I said earlier. Are there any men out there who are going to be friends with women they think are just repulsive, ugly, fat, undesirable, insufferable? Really, it's not going to happen. The guys aren't friends with women they find grotesque and hard to look at. It just doesn't happen.
I would just never look at him that way.
We've been such good friends. I don't want to ruin the friendship.
How could you ruin a friendship?
But I am curious though. You also don't see a lot of women being friends with dudes who are obese and super unattractive. Actually, that's not true. That's not true.
By getting closer.
Well, when people take friendships into relationships, they're not meant to be in a relationship. They were always meant to be friends.
He just doesn't fit that box?
No, I wouldn't say that, because he fits all the boxes.
Then why not move the relationship further.
I never thought about it, honestly.
Because he's my backup plan. That's why. Because he's my backup. Right now, I'm seeing some other guys who I am pretty enthusiastic about. But, you know, he's there as plan B, C, maybe even C, D. Got some other guys, some other friend zone dudes, but he'll do eventually.
Friend zone has to be the coldest and darkest place a man can find himself. Bro is freezing so bad he is scared to even speak. She wants all the benefits of a relationship without having to reciprocate. He takes her out, he listens to her, and probably does favors like picking her up and helping her move. The day he asks her to cook for him, she'll say without hesitation, "You need a girlfriend." The friend zone is not a friendly place. He's a victim of the friend zone. When he finds a woman, she'll regret friend zoning him. I bet he heard countless stories about men doing her wrong.
Oh, yeah. That's right. He's the asexual emotional tampon.
Bro is suffering in silence. For 10 years, homie has been sniffing around for weakness like a wolf, playing the long game. Most guys...
And it's not that he himself is asexual. It's that the woman perceives him to be asexual. Even though, of course, she knows that's not the case. But it's how she views him.
Are in this exact situation. I wouldn't advise any man to use his strategy because it makes things harder. I know some guys were able to get themselves out of the friend zone, but this isn't the pathway you want to take. Instead, make sure you are upfront with your intentions and let her know what you want. There are many benefits when you tell them your intentions without hesitations. It shows confidence. And from that moment, she will know that you are the type of men who have no issue to go after what he wants without a second thought. This is what most women like. But when you use being a friend just to be next to her and hope that one day that door opens, it will make you look bad. Don't fool yourself by thinking that she doesn't know what you want. She knows it well, and this is what makes you look weak.
Well, what's interesting to me about this whole thing is that on one hand, we as men are happy to acknowledge and we understand that when a man gets friend zoned, he's pretty much there to just like be the guy that she goes to complain about the guy she's actually interested in and seeing. However, we as men also have a problem with the woman we're seeing or in a relationship with having a bunch of guy friends. So like on one hand, we know these guys are just like, yes, asexual, emotional tampons to these women. But we also don't like the fact that a woman has a bunch of guy friends. I think it stems from us knowing what this man's true intentions are. And it's also us understanding that this guy might be a backup. This guy might be the guy she'll like go to in a couple of years when things don't work out. And she's like, okay, didn't work out with that guy, but you'll do. So it's interesting. We understand what it means to be a guy in the friend zone, but we also don't like it when our girlfriend has men in the friend zone. And it's for those two reasons.
If you're in the friend zone with your ex, after a breakup, a lot of exes will ask you to be friends because they don't want to lose you completely after the breakup. It can be really tempting to say yes because you think that you can transition from friend to being back together, but it usually doesn't work. So here's how to get out of it and get back into a better position. It's best to be really direct in your communication. Just tell them that you want to be really authentic and that you have feelings for them still. Because of that, it's...
No, just tell them I'm not going to be your friend. You and I are not going to be friends. If there's going to be anything between us, it's going to be intimate and it's going to be sexual. We're not going to be friends. Saved you some time. But yeah, I'm going to leave the video there. So if you made it this far, do me a favor, drop a like and a subscription, and I will see you next time.